Here's question number 4 from the actual 2016 exam to do with a slope field. So consider the diffie dy by dx equals y squared over x minus 1. On the axes provided, sketch a slope field for the given diffie at the 6 points indicated. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to use this and just plug in what the values are. So at 0, we have 0 divided by whatever. At 2, 0. So again, when y is 0, 0 divided by whatever is 0. So both of these are going to be horizontal lines. How about here? This one's 0, 1. So when x is 0 and y is 1, you get 1 divided by negative 1. So try to do a 45-degree slope pointing down. And then at 2, when you plug in 0 and 2, that's 4 and negative 1. So negative 4. So make sure this one looks steeper negative. Here, let's do that point there. That point is 2, 2. Little ballerina. 4 divided by 1. So it's a steep positive slope. And then plug in this one, 2, 1. I get 1 on top. And then 2 take away 1, 1 on the bottom, so it's positive 1, so like a 45-degreer there. Done. You just did the slopes for those 4 points. B, let y be the solution to that diffie, and there's an initial condition. Write an equation for the line tangent. So for B, if I see that word, write an equation of a tangent line. I want to know what x equals, I want to know what y equals, and the slope. So in this question, it tells you what x is. That's the condition there, 2. The y value is 3. And then to find the slope, I just plug it into the diffie. So when I plug in 2 and 3, that's 9 divided by 2 take away 1. So it's 9 divided by 1, so the slope is 9. So that means the equation then would be y equals 9, x subtract 2 plus 3. So you have your equation. And then what's the approximate value of 2.1? And then I don't need to simplify it, so I'm not going to. And you have your answer. You just plug 2.1 in for x to approximate the value using the tangent line. C, last question. Can you find the particular solution to that diffie with that initial condition? So can you separate the variables and do all the work you need to? So step 1 is, can you separate the variables? So to separate the variables, first I'm going to divide by y squared. And then I'm going to multiply by x minus 1. Not x minus 1, dx, I mean. So I'm going to multiply by dx. So first step is to separate the variables. Can you get all the y's on one side and the x's on the other? The next step, I'm going to integrate. So when I'm integrating with y squared in the denominator, you can definitely think of this as y to the negative 2 is not a logarithm. But this one is a logarithm. So when I look at this, the derivative of the denominator, 1, matches the top. This is ln. So it's the ln of x minus 1. That's how you would integrate the denominator. To integrate the left side, you would just simply add 1 to the exponent and divide. So when you divide by negative 1, it's just negative. So it might be helpful to write this as a fraction now that we're doing algebra. The calculus part is over. Now we're going to do some plugging in. So what I need to know is what condition I have. So the condition is when f at 2 equals 3. So I'm going to plug in the y value, which is 3, plug in the x value, which is 2, and then I'm going to solve it. So you don't have to solve for y at the beginning. You can plug in right away, and then once you know what c equals, then you have to work at solving for y at the end. So it's either solving for y now or at the end, which is going to be easier. In this case, 2 take away 1 is ln 1, and the value of ln 1 is equal to 0. So c is equal to negative 1/3. And that's a property of logarithms. So if I go back here, I have negative 1 over y is equal to ln x minus 1 subtract 1/3 I want to know what y equals. Don't try to make this look pretty. So I'm going to do the reciprocal to get y by itself. And then I'm going to divide everything by -1. So let's say I divided everything by -1 first. That would make negative ln x minus 1 and plus a third. That way the negative isn't there on the left. I just divide everything by -1. Then just do the reciprocal, and it's okay that you have a fraction within a fraction. So y equals, if you did the reciprocal, you just have a 1 on top, and then on the bottom you'd have negative ln x minus 1 plus a third. And that's it. So you just do the reciprocal, and what you see here is just the whole thing is in the denominator. That's pretty the way it is. Let it go. And you did it. You're able to solve the FRQ. You know what a tangent line is and how to find it, how to draw a slope field, and you're done. Mr. G Math, over and out. Till next time.